All right, this is the call to order for the October 8th special meeting of the Town of Woodside Planning Commission, and we'll start with a Pledge of Allegiance. Roll call, please.
Chair Weaver,
Present.
Vice Chair Gar, Commissioner Gonerko,
Here.
and Commissioners Apfel and Tauber are noted absent.
Are there any changes to the agenda as published?
There are no changes to the agenda and no desk items have been received.
We will now open public communication. This is an opportunity for people to speak on issues of interest to the Town of Woodside or its Planning Commission, but items which are not on tonight's agenda. So if anyone, and it's typically limited to 5 speakers, 3 minutes max. So if there is anyone here or in the Zoom room that wishes to speak on an item not on tonight's agenda, feel free to do so now. We can't act on any such items, but it can be noted by staff or the commissioners and put on the agenda at a future meeting. Is there anyone that wants to speak within such parameters?
For those online, please use the raise hand feature if you'd like to speak. There are no raised hands.
Given that, we will close the public communications and move on to the consent calendar, which tonight consists of approval of the minutes of the September 17th Planning Commission meeting. So does anyone in the room have any corrections, additions, comments, or elaborations that they wish to make to the minutes before they're approved?
I have one correction to note. Under the call to order section, the incorrect date was listed, but that's been corrected.
Okay. There being no other corrections or changes being proposed, someone can make a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Chair Weaver,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gar,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonerko.
Yes.
We will move on to item 2 on the agenda, which concerns a subdivision at 1101 Kenyatta Road. And I believe that Sarah will be presenting on this.
Yes. So I'm just going to do a very quick introduction. So for your consideration tonight is a request for a 1-year extension of time for an approved tentative map. So on November 28th of 2023, the Town Council approved a tentative map for a 7-lot subdivision at the property at 1101 Kenyatta Road. A brief project description is, included the demolition of some existing site features, which included a single-family residence, horse corral, accessory structures, and driveway. And it also included the construction of a new private road with underground utilities and stormwater treatment features, which requires construction permits. The applicant is very close to obtaining construction permits and will be soon selecting a contractor. And the construction of the approved improvements will be completed over the course of the next year. And so the extension of time will allow the applicant to complete those approved construction improvements and also record the final map with the county. The code only allows 1 extension of time. So the tentative map will be extended 1 year to November 28th of 2026. So that's all I have, but if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Do any of the commissioners have questions for Sarah?
Maybe more out of curiosity, if there needs to be another extension, what would happen? The permit get canceled or?
Sage?
We would have to look into that. It's something we briefly discussed with the applicant. If we get closer to that time, we will have to look into that, see if there's other options available.
Other questions?
Um, Does the applicant or the applicant's representative wish to speak about this? You don't have to, but you're welcome to.
Hi, oops, I'm sorry. My name's Lisa Putnam and I'm representing, sorry. I'm representing the applicant and all I can really say is things took longer than we anticipated, but we did get our bids today for the construction. Since there'll be a moratorium for grading until April 15th, we actually can't start right away. We wish we could, but we have full intention to get everything done within that year. And I really think we can. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Does anyone have any questions for Lisa?
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Given that, is there anyone in the Zoom room or present in the meeting room that excuse me, we need to open the public comment period for this. And so if there's anyone in the Zoom room or here in the meeting room that would like to speak on this topic, please raise your hand on Zoom or step up to the microphone. And please state your name and address, please.
Sure will. I'm Heidi Brown. I live at 1032 Kenyatta Road, so pretty much across the street from the development site. Sounds like the horse is already out of the barn, but I just felt compelled to come and at least say again on record how incredibly distressed the neighbors are that 7 houses are going in there. They have every right to develop that property, but 7's just still feels very wrong to all of us. The increased traffic from 7 houses and maybe 7 ADUs, and it's a lot of cars going by. Kenyatta Road is already a pretty risky place. Cars go too fast, and this is not going to help it. And my real concern is we've been living between 2 houses being under construction for the last few years, I don't know. And that's great. They're beautiful homes and we're lucky to have them as neighbors. But one nice thing was those were all both on very large properties. So all the workers and all the trades could actually park on the lots as they were being built and developed. That's not going to happen with 7 properties, each 1 acre on Kenyatta Road. It's like a disaster just waiting to happen to have all those cars. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the Zoom room, Julie?
For those online, please use the raise hand feature if you'd like to make a comment. And I see no raised hands.
Okay. I believe we have another speaker in the room, at least one more. So please step up to the microphone. And if you, there is a way to adjust that up and down if you just move the lever.
Is this good?
We can
can
hear
you
you
hear
just
me?
fine.
Okay. I'm Maggie Betticray, and I live on Kenyatta. I live at 1040 Kenyatta, and I'm the neighbor. I'm Heidi's neighbor, the Browns' neighbor. And the reason I feel like all of us do, which is, I know you've done what you've done, but when we think about how this street will have, just think of, I know the houses in the area, but the amount of cars are exponentially more than a house in an ADU. They're probably 5 times the amount of structures. It's just an enormous amount of traffic. And that really makes me sad. I have horses, there's grandchildren next to me. So I just wanted to let you know my feeling as a resident on Kenyatta by the Putnams.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else here in the room that would like to speak? And no one on Zoom, Julie?
No raised hands.
Okay, given that, it seems appropriate to close the public comment period and begin commissioner deliberations on this topic.
We open up. So I mean, from my perspective, the extension makes sense. Things take time to develop. I have no problems with that. Definitely appreciate the comments from the residents, but at the same time, the decision we're making is really on the extension, not sort of reopening the other pieces. So I would be in support of the extension from that perspective.
So in 2023, on November 28th, the city council approved the tentative map, and in the approval, it allowed for a 1-year extension if it was so needed. And since planning is also allowing this to go forward, I don't see any objection that I would have regarding that.
I have no further comments beyond what the other commissioners have said. And since there seems to be a consensus, we will entertain a motion to grant the extension.
Make a motion to grant the extension as written.
Second.
Chair Weaver,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gar,
Yes.
Commissioner Ganerko.
Yes.
Thank you. That concludes this item. And we can move on to item 3 on the agenda, which is a variance for a property at, I believe the address is 1385 Kenyatta Road, and Kago is going to be presenting the staff report on that.
Hello and thank you. Tonight I'll be presenting the variance application at 1385 Kenyatta Road. This is a continued presentation from the July 16th, 2025 Planning Commission hearing. And this is a variance proposal to relocate the pool equipment into the required front setback and to encroach into the required side setback and to construct new exterior roof beams from the ADU within the required side setback, connecting to an outdoor kitchen roof structure approved by the previously approved setback exception. So to give a recap of what was previously approved from the January 22nd, 2025 PUC hearing, this was a setback exception, which had the pool equipment into the side setback and the barbecue area within the side setback on the other side. And what was presented initially at the July 16th hearing is that the applicant is proposing to relocate the pool equipment to the front side of this ADU structure, encroaching into the front setback, as well as extending the roof beams of the ADU structure to create a trellis structure above the barbecue. And here are the elevations that were presented. As well as the renderings. To note, the applicants have not changed anything regarding the renderings and the elevation plans. Much of the plan set remains the same from the July 16th hearing, and the commission can also view the physical materials board on your left side. So the applicant has responded to the recommendations made by the Planning Commission at the July 16th hearing. And to summarize what was discussed by the Planning Commission recommended that the applicant present materials demonstrating that the pool equipment does not create excessive noise levels at the property line shared on the southeast side at 115 Dean Road. And the applicant's response is per the proposed architectural plans, the pool equipment is fully enclosed in the structure with a roof and high-quality acoustic insulation. And to further mitigate noise concerns, the applicant requested that the pool contractor provide the quietest available pool equipment appropriate for this project. And the newly selected equipment is 5 decibels approximately quieter than the one originally proposed. The Planning Commission also recommended that the applicant meet with the owners of 115 Dean Road to discuss the details of the proposed pool equipment noise and determine if there is a mutually agreeable solution to mitigate the noise concerns expressed at the July 16th hearing. The applicant's response is that the applicant met with the owner at 115 Dean Road and their family several times. A sound study of a comparable pool enclosure was conducted and the results shared between the neighbors via video. The neighbors were invited to visit the location of the proposed pool equipment enclosure at 1385 Kenyatta, and the plans for the sound enclosure were further explained. The applicant committed to addressing all of the concerns of the neighbors at 115 Dean Road, and this is also highlighted with the mutually signed letter between the two parties. Some additional findings from the applicant include this new proposed pump for the pool. It's called the Jandy E pump. And as further highlighted from the applicant's response, the client has worked hard to address all of their neighbors' noise concern from the pool equipment proposed in the setback, including upgrading the proposed equipment to the best available and providing recourse if there is a problem in the future, and that they have designed a high-quality custom sound enclosure for this equipment, and that they believe that it would significantly limit noise issue from the pool equipment at this particular location. And on the right side, you can see the details of the enclosure. And to compare what was previously proposed, at the July 16th hearing on the right side, it was the original pool pump, which was a Hayward TriStar VS900. And to summarize the specifications for both pool equipments, the newly proposed pool equipment would now run at 62 decibels, and that behind a wall, such as the enclosure proposed, it would level down to the high 19 decibel range, which is comparable to a soft whisper, and a thicker wall would get it into the teens for decibels, effectively near silent in a typical home environment. That concludes my presentation. Staff is happy to answer any questions, and the applicant has also installed story poles at least 10 days before the hearing date. Thank you.
Does anyone have questions for Kago? Matt? Richard?
No questions.
All right. No questions for Kago. The applicant or the applicant's representative is welcome to speak if they wish to. So please step on up to the microphone.
My name is Peter Mason. I'm principal at Mason Architects.
Oh, and you can move the lever and move the mic up. See, yeah, move the.
Oh, run it up. There we go. That's better.
That's the secret.
I've never been on this side of things. I've sat up there, but not now. Anyway, thank you very much, commissioners, for the reconsideration of this variance. We really appreciate it. It gave us time to spend time with the neighbor and resolve the issues that she had with the noise, and we're very happy that we came to a good resolution with her. And the owner is also here, which is Mina Rizik, who's can talk to that a little bit. I was going to do a quick little presentation about the uniqueness of this project, of this site, and a little bit what the distances are, just as a quick recap. So on the screen is our package that we submitted for this redo. It's essentially the same building. We've done minor things to it, but if you look at the site, it's a long, narrow site that really the only buildable area on this site is the left-hand side. And all the other areas, has you can't really get to it. It's steep. It's very wooded. And so the original house that Mina bought was positioned out here and had a lawn area. And what we're adding is we're adding a swimming pool and an ADU, and we're trying to get all that to work well on the site. You can see the neighborhood around it in terms of where everything is and what the neighborhood surrounding development is. Next. So we're talking about the two things in purple, which is on the left-hand side is the pool equipment room. And we've made that a little bit smaller. We've moved it about 3 feet further away from the property line. Like Kiko said, it's a totally enclosed, soundproof as we can make it, equipment room. The left side, we basically already had an approval for the barbecue, and what we want to do is run a couple of beams across to connect the two. Next. Gives you kind of an idea. You can see a little bit how we've pulled it back a little bit from the side on the left-hand side. This shows the distances to the 115 Dean Road property houses and their ADUs. We're about, I can't read it from here, 57 feet. 57 feet from the pool equipment pump, which is on the upper portion of the equipment room. And even the ADU is about 57 feet, is about 50 feet also. Let's give some of the quick renderings in terms of how it lays out on the site. The architectural is very much similar to the existing house, same materials, same roof, same siding. And that shows what basically the pool equipment room is 5 feet tall. It has a roof that comes up so they can do some maintenance on it. Next. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, so this is some of the sound studies, and I'm not sure if you want need or want any decibel education. I'm sure it's, but it's very, very quiet. You're not gonna, it's like a whisper at the 50 feet. So if that, and we're also limiting the amount of hours at night so that it's not running, and limits the amount of, impact to her house. Next.
That's Amy.
Okay, I think that's it. You have any questions for me?
Does anyone have questions for Peter? Apparently not.
I'd like to introduce the owner, Mina Rezik.
All right. Thank you for your time. Sorry I could not attend last time, but I was traveling. But as soon as I came back, I had multiple discussions with my neighbor, and I took her and we spent time in the property. We with her daughter who lives in the ADU, we spent time in the property. We looked at it. She had an understanding that the pool equipment is touching her property, but obviously that is not the case. So we were able to show her how far it is from her property. And she was more or less satisfied, but we even went a step further. And as Peter said, is that we did our pool equipment contractor, or pool contractor did a study, a sound study, and he shared all the study with her, including the video. Fundamentally, he had multiple of these pool equipment enclosures that is designed for soundproof in other properties. And he asked some of these owners if he can do a study in these properties. He took a decibel meter and he measured at 50 feet, 25 feet, was the pump on, was the pump off. And he shared all of that with her daughter and her son. And fundamentally, you don't, once you are above 25 meters, the decibel meter cannot see any difference, more or less. she was satisfied and she had no problems. And she said, okay, with this information, she's happy, but we even went one step further. I told her it would be good at least to have this documented between us, so at least also she is protected. So we had at least something between us, a paper that is understanding how this is gonna be used and the fact that we're gonna be using the best equipment, and if there is, within 5 years, if there's a better equipment out there in the market, we will change it, put a better equipment. And she asked, during the ADU, in the ADU, there is, yeah, this is the kind of like the agreement that we kind of put together between myself, her, and her daughter. As you can see, also, we are assured her that we are going to be limited to during the day as much as possible. And if there's anything, we will do our best to fix it. If there's any noise concern, we will do our best to fix it as soon as possible. In addition, she asked if, because we are now doing construction and the previous owner for the house had a door between our property and her property that they could go between, and in that door there was no trees and it was kind of open. So she asked if we can close this and convert it to a closed fence. I said, okay, that's no problem, we can do this. In the meantime, we installed a temporary fence till at least some of the initial framing of the construction is done. And after that, this is something that we were gonna apply for the permit and just do close the fence so that she enjoys her privacy. So with that in mind, I think we have addressed everything that the neighbors have asked for. To my understanding, she is very satisfied. She does not have any, at least from my point of view, she did not raise any other concerns, as well as no other neighbors. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did anyone here on the dais have any questions for the owner?
Owner or representative?
Yeah.
It's just in terms of the choice on the location, and was there consideration to putting it outside of setbacks, and were there elements of the site?
And whoever's going to answer, please step up to the microphone.
I definitely understand that
Sure.
it's more a question on neighbor
It is a
concerns.
it is a
That
very,
sounds great.
in reality, it's a very constrained site in terms of where it could go. I mean, we had placed it over on the other side off of Kenyatta Road, which wouldn't have been very pleasing to the eye, and we had a huge amount of problems with the way the pumps would work and the viability of them and that kind of stuff. So we tried to keep it as part of the ADU rather than something else. So we tried a number of places and it just doesn't work. So from a way to, to build it and to do the sound enclosure, it fits pretty well with the building.
And the structure to the right of the, well, so where it turns from purple to white?
That's the
is that
ADU.
setback line? I'm just having a little trouble.
Yeah, the
interpreting
the
drawing.
setback lines are the red lines.
Yeah.
The building itself, that's the ADU.
And the rest was previously approved, correct?
Yes.
So this
all
is
the
just
rest
the
was-
new,
All the rest
new
was
element of
previously approved.
non-conformance.
Richard, do you have any questions?
No questions, no.
Neither do I. I would make a comment to both of you that we realize this has caused a delay. I think the ultimate outcome is good in that your willingness to work with your neighbor and find something that was mutually agreeable is commendable. And in general, it's always good policy to be to have a good relationship with your neighbors.
Absolutely.
And so
Thank you.
your
We appreciate
forbearance
it.
on that is appreciated.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Maybe just a clarifying question. I think it's to Sage with the letter that we saw, and I echo the commendation. And that's not something that the town would enforce.
That's correct. So we did raise that in the staff report briefly. The one thing that we can enforce is the specifications provided in terms of the type of pump and the acoustical insulation that is prepared and the enclosure around it. So that is a condition of approval recommended, whereas the other piece is in terms of hours of operation. That would be a civil agreement between the two neighbors. And I believe we do have a neighbor online as well that may
Oh.
speak.
If there is, in that case, we will open the public comment period. And since the only members of the public or interested parties seem to be online, if there's someone online that wishes to speak, please do so.
Vera, you've been given permission to speak. All you have to do is unmute. Vera, if you'd still like to speak, we are not hearing you in the room. You'll just need to unmute. In the meantime, if the other person online would like to provide a comment, please use the raise hand feature. The only raised hand I'm seeing is Vera, and it appears there may be some technical difficulty.
I think at this point, our best bet would be to close the public comment period. And if the person online is able to unmute, we can take their comments. But given that, we could open this up for commissioner deliberation. So start.
I don't have a huge amount of thoughts on this one. It seems reasonable. It seems like the applicant has taken, I mean, even I would say sort of gone above and beyond in certain cases. I mean, the decibels are incredibly low. I think at 19, it's basically inaudible or soft whisper. So that all looks good. You know, as far as the agreement between the two parties, seems like they've reached a mutually agreeable thing. Probably not my place to say, but the replacement of the pumps, I don't know if that's really necessary, if it's like inaudible, but that's not sort of not our place at the end of the day. So I'd be in support.
Richard?
Just to give a little perspective, most dishwashers nowadays are like in the high 20s, and you have to really strain your ear to hear them when they're working. So if we're talking about, I think 16 or 14 decibels, that's like half as much. So I have absolutely nothing negative to say and approve this submittal.
And I have nothing to say beyond what my fellow commissioners have said. So I think we could entertain a motion to approve this variance.
So a motion to approve the variance for the pool equipment and the barbecue area for 1385 Cañada Road.
I will second the motion.
Chair Weaver,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gar,
Yes.
Commissioner Ganerko.
Yes.
All right. This closes out item number 3 on the agenda. Sage, do you have anything further for us tonight?
No, I'll just give a couple, just quick minor updates with the Town Center Area Plan. So we had our last pop-up event at Piñata Corners, and we've received additional comments. We're probably up to or a little over 400 responses to the survey. So that's pretty good. We are still soliciting comments to the survey. That will go through at least a week after the Day of the Horse. So there will be 2 more upcoming events. So tomorrow night, October 9th, at 6 p.m., there is kind of an open house workshop that's open to the public, and it will be held at the elementary school auditorium or gymnasium. And that's, it will have a number of different stations. People will be able to engage staff members and consultants on different topics, provide feedback, as well as there will be at least one presentation, and they may repeat that presentation a little later, just in case people came in. And so that will be tomorrow night from 6 to 8. So we encourage all to attend. And then on the day of the horse, the town of Woodside will have a booth at the fair and also be engaging anyone who would like to learn about or provide comments on just the TCAP process. Again, we're still in the information gathering stage. And so what we're trying to do is just really get as much input as we can at this time. And we have now scheduled the second Citizen Advisory Committee meeting, which will occur on December 2nd.
I don't know, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, any sort of themes coming out of the?
A lot of stuff that you would expect, you know, related to circulation and trying to have kind of more uses that can serve the community. Interesting thing to note is when the topic of housing comes up, it's pretty evenly split. So that's just kind of an interesting note. It's not really slanted one way or the other, but we will have the workshop tomorrow, and we'll actually we can provide those slides. We'll send it out to Planning Commission CAC members for the boards that will be on tomorrow's workshop. And that has some of the summaries of information collected so far. But once we complete the survey process and complete these different public events, all of that information will be summarized.
And then Sage, one final question from me. The Planning Commission had been given a heads up at some point in the last 12 months that staff was considering further tweaks to the Woodside Municipal Code to improve fire hardening within the town. And I think one aspect of that was shake roofs in addition to other measures. Is that moving forward at all? Or?
It is on our agenda to get completed, yes. So we'll be meeting with the fire district, and then my goal is to have a zoning code change that can start to align some of what's required by the fire district. We can make sure that it is permitted by the code or doesn't have significant conflicts with our zoning code requirements. So I'd like to, if possible, to get that before the Planning Commission by the end of the year.
Does anyone else have any questions for Sage? Given that, I will close this meeting. Thank you, everyone.